We're doing another ranking today. I love a ranking video, and it's been a while since I've done an updated internet's favorite makeup rank. So we're doing a new one today. I asked you on my community tab to share the products that you think are the internet's favorites of the moment. And okay, I was about to jump right into it, and I'm like, no, Kelly, let's share the list. So if you've never seen one of my tier list videos before, this is the grading scale that we're going to use. And obviously the ones ranked closer to the top are the ones that I'm ranking more highly, and then they get progressively worse the lower we rank them. I'm using the same scale as always, so we've got worth the hype, I'm impressed, it's average, I don't get it, and then they lied to us is the bottom tier. That's for the most disappointing of the bunch, but let's start off with your number one response when I asked over my community tab, what is the internet's favorite product right now? So many of you said the Rhode Pocket Blushes, and we're starting this video off a little bit controversial because I have a bit of an unpopular opinion on these. I think this is top three. I'm gonna say top three most overrated products of 2024 for me. Like, this is just such an unremarkable blush formula in my opinion. Not only is it incredibly tiny, and I feel like that gets glossed over a lot when I hear about these, but for comparison, the Milk Makeup Little Baby Blushes that everyone roasts for being so tiny, basically the same size. Yes, this right here, this is 0.19 ounces compared to the Rhode Pocket Blushes, which come with 0.18 ounces. This from Rhode is smaller, it is less product. Granted, the price is pretty similar between the two, but that's something I hear mentioned so infrequently. This is very tiny. The packaging is a little bit deceiving because you look at it and it looks like an average size blush, but the included product is pretty minimal. So we'll start there. Outside of that, let's talk performance. This product is very emollient, but almost to a fault in my opinion. So I often hear it described as being super creamy, which it is. And because of that, it's really easy to manipulate and move around, but in my opinion, almost too much where it's not staying in place. When I'm going to blend it out, it's almost expanding a little bit too much, sometimes becoming patchy because it doesn't like set down fully. It's super, super creamy in that sense. I also find the very creamy nature of it emphasizes any pores and texture on my skin, which, you know, that's pretty common with very creamy, glowy, dewy products because naturally they're going to be a little more reflective than a surface that's more mattified. But all that in mind, this is not, it's really not a product I reach for that often. I decided to wear the shade, this one today, Freckle. I have this on, I have another blush on top of it. I rarely use these. Like, after I filmed my review on this product, like once I had finalized my thoughts and updated you guys, I basically have not reached for them since, except for today. I'm like, let me bring it back out one last time, but I really don't like these. So I'm gonna put this one, I know unpopular, we're starting off really, really strong here, but I'm gonna put this in I don't get it. Let's talk about a fragrance. So this comes from Lush. This is their super viral product called Super Milk. So this one's pretty new to me. I actually got this at Creators and Friends, which was an event I was just at, and we did a My Favorite Things party. Have you ever had one of those? I've done a few of these before where everyone brings their favorite thing. Like, you choose one item and then that's what you're gifting other people. But because we had such a large group, like everyone brought, what was it, 4 or 3? No, 4 of their favorite item, and then you get to go and choose 4 of the favorites that other people brought. So this was the one that I chose. This was brought by Ilia. I'll have her channel linked down below, but this is the Lush Super Milk. It is actually a hair conditioner. They call it a conditioning hair primer. And even though it is a hair product, it's actually super popular in the fragrance space because it smells delicious. So this doesn't smell anything like I was expecting it to. The name Super Milk left me anticipating like a very lactonic scent, and that's not at all what I get from this. Initially, I'm getting like straight lemon and then a lot of spices, almost like a chai, or it feels very holiday to me in terms of the scent, but I'll put the notes on the screen. And because this smells so wonderful, I've seen people not only use this with the intended use of being a leave-in conditioner in your hair, but I've also seen people wear this on their body almost as a perfume. Now, it's not the right texture really to do that, but you can kind of rub it into the skin like lotion, which is what I've seen other people do. And I've tried that a little bit as well, and I really don't mind it like that, but I also think it wears beautifully in the hair. And when I say this is one of the longest lasting scents I have ever encountered, I am not kidding. Like, I understand the hype of this product because if you spray this in your hair, be ready to smell it in your hair like a couple days after that because it just sticks around. So with that in mind, you have to like the scent of it, but I personally really do. It's definitely a heavier leave-in conditioner, so depending on your hair type, you might like or not like that, but really, like, it's all about the scent. I feel like that's why the internet loves this one. I'm gonna say worth the hype, actually, because the way that this smell lingers, it just smells so wonderful. And like I said, it's not at all the scent I was thinking that it would be, and yet I'm hooked. Like, it just smells like holiday season to me. Ooh, okay. The brand Wonderskin has been doing numbers on like Instagram Reels and TikTok. I've been seeing so many short form videos with these lip stains. So this is that lip stain you've probably seen that goes on this bluish purple shade, and then you wipe it off and you have this gorgeous stain left behind. So I have quite a few shades of this that they did send to me. The one that I wear the most is XOXO, which is one of the more subtle, lighter shades. They have a range of different shades. The thing about lip stains, they all kind of stain down to a pretty similar shade. There's not a huge difference between them. Like, yes, like little minute differences, but I don't think you necessarily need to buy a bunch of different lip stains in different undertones to see a big difference. Like, you probably just won't. I like this more than I was expecting to, and I think my expectations are very low because the Saie Dew lip liner stain was not for me. I have mentioned that was such a disappointing product for me. I found it to be really patchy. I find it to be more effort than it's worth. I just really didn't love that product. This, I think, delivers on the claims so much more than that one. It is much less patchy. It also has that kind of cool gimmicky look of it where like it does apply purple and then you get to wipe it off. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this product. I'm trying to decide where I want to rank it though. I'm like, is it average or am I impressed? Because I have a lot of lip stains that are a fraction of the price of this one that I think offer pretty similar results. But I do think this does what it claims to do. I wish I could put it right in the middle of it's average and I'm impressed. But I find myself reaching for this pretty often, actually. I like using it as a base and then applying my lip combo over top just to get more longevity. So I'm going to put this in. I'm impressed. But I will say, with that in mind, if you didn't want to splurge on this, I do think there are a lot of amazing drugstore lip stains that are a little bit less expensive than this that work similarly, but I do really like these, actually. One that I'm so sad about because you told me that you love this and I was really excited about it. I know this is a very raved about foundation and I finally picked it up. This is the About Face The Performer Foundation. This product seems to be so many people's favorite foundation. I hear it recommended so often. And when it was recently in the not Sephora VIB sale, that one's coming up though so soon, which is crazy. But this was in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty recently. And I mentioned in a video, I said I might pick it up. And so many of you were like, absolutely, I love that foundation. You're going to love it. So I grabbed it. This is one of those foundations that has a doe foot applicator to it, which isn't my favorite type of application for a foundation, but I know some people like the ease of it. Personally, a pump will always be superior in my mind. But I do think the packaging feels very nice and luxe, especially considering the $22 price tag is definitely more affordable than a lot of other comparable foundations on the market. But my skin doesn't like this, and I keep trying it. I keep trying it again, thinking maybe I'm just having a bad skin day and it's going to wear better next time, and I have yet to have a good result with this. It's the foundation I'm wearing today. I feel like with the combination of my other makeup products, you probably can't see what this is doing. Like, I made it work, but in general, I don't think this sits well on my dry skin. I find it clings so significantly to like this portion of my face, and then it will start to separate, especially anytime I start trying to work other products on top of it. But even if I don't, even if I just try to wear this on its own, it separates all up in here. And even on my chin, my dry patches that aren't even like that dry look so much drier when I wear this. So with all that in mind, I would imagine maybe if you have oily skin, you might enjoy this, but on my dry skin, it just has not been a good fit. Every time I wear it, I'm so bummed because I want to like this. I've heard so many rave reviews on it, but it just is not my friend. So I am going to put this one in. I don't get it. I don't get it. I want to like this. And I do think it has this like kind of smoothing quality to it. And when I look at myself in the mirror from like far enough away, I'm like, oh, this looks really nice. But it's when I'm bringing my mirror closer, I can see that it's just not laying well on my skin. So I didn't like this one. Okay, something I feel like I'm kind of late to the party on is this mascara from Ilia. This is their Limitless Lash Mascara. Previously, I had tried their other mascara that's in the beige packaging, but I feel like that one's not that popular. It is this one that I see raved about so often, and I was so excited to finally try it, and it's just a mascara for me. I think it's a good mascara, but I'm a little bit surprised by the popularity of it because I don't find it to be anything spectacular. I think part of the appeal with this product is that it has a really fascinating, interesting wand to it. It has kind of two sides to it. One has this almost comb-like look to it, and the other side is your more traditional mascara wand. I think that element of it is nice, especially for getting some separation in the lashes, and I do think this mascara provides good separation. I think it's a good lengthening mascara. I wish it held my curl better, but that being said, so few mascaras hold my curl well. My lashes are naturally very straight and they point downwards. So we're working against all the odds here, but I do have other mascaras, even drugstore mascaras, that hold my curl better than this one does. So that's definitely a noteworthy con. Looking over the scale, I'm going to have to put this one in its average. It in no way has been a disappointment to me. I'm not like, oh, that's a bad mascara, what's going on? But it also is not one I have any intention of repurchasing once it runs out. Like, it is very much an average mascara in my eyes. But let me know, do you love that one? Because I feel like a lot of people do. Okay, this one. I did a video on Instagram recently with JCPenney and their beauty department, and they sell the brand REM, which until recently was a little bit harder to get your hands on, but they did just come into Ulta. If you didn't know that, REM just came into Ulta. Unfortunately, they're not in Sephora, but prior to that, they were a little bit harder to get your hands on, but I was seeing so many people talk about these blushes right here. And so when I did that Instagram video with JCPenney, I picked out this blush from their beauty department, and this is their ReDimension Hydra Powder Blush. I have the shade Crystal Slipper. Wow. Okay. I thought this blush would be good. I was hearing it raved about, but I wasn't expecting this blush to become such an immediate standout in my collection. Like, I think it already looks quite worn for only having it now for what? I think 2 months at this point. I am using this so often. Like, you can already see, like, you used to be able to see RMS in, I think in another video I called this the REM blush, or maybe I did that today. Sometimes I'll be watching the editing back and I'm like, Kelly, you're saying the wrong word. So RMS. Okay. It used to say RMS imprinted into it. That's gone now. This, I reach for this so often. This shade in particular. This is such a good glowy blush. Like, it has a glow, but it doesn't look like I just put a shimmery highlighter all over my cheeks. But it's also not like, how do I want to describe this? There are some matte blushes that have a glow to it. I wouldn't even call this that. Like, some are kind of more of that satin finish. No, this is a glowy blush. Similar to the highlighting blushes from Bare Minerals, but I would say those are slightly more glowy. But a lot of times what turns me off about this genre of product of like the glowy blush is that so many of them just emphasize texture. It makes my cheek look just not smooth. All my pores are really amplified. Not this one. It is doing the impossible of adding glow, but also kind of blurring in a way, which is very rare to find from a blush. This is a more expensive blush. I will start there. It's $35, but it is worth every penny in my opinion. So I'm going to put this in the category of worth the hype. I'll also note at the time that I'm filming this, it is on a very minor, but still a sale at Ulta. Like I said, it's normally $35 and right now it's showing $31.50 at Ulta. So hopefully that's still the case when this video goes live, but I love these. The shade Crystal Slipper is a dream. It makes a good almost like bronzer type of shade because it's not super pink. It's almost like this like nude pink, I guess. So I think it works well around the full perimeter of the face. It's so good. I have a couple of other blushes, but let's hang tight on blush for a minute. Let's talk about this foundation, okay? The Patrick Ta foundation. So this one is both the internet's favorite, but also kind of a polarizing foundation. It's one in 2024 that people either seem to love and can't get enough of, or they despise. And I really do understand that because it's a hyper dewy foundation. So I think it's gonna come down to having the right audience. I understand why so many people don't enjoy this product. Also considering it is one of the most expensive foundations at Sephora, priced higher than a lot of luxury brands. This is $58 USD. One compliment that I will give to this right away though, and to just Patrick Ta in general, is that the undertones on this are phenomenal. And I find that to be a pain point with so many foundations. Like, the formula might be nice, but they're straight up orange or pink. They don't look like skin tones. This has such realistic undertones to it. Like, this is one of the best shade matches I have ever found in a foundation. I wear the shade 5 Golden Neutral, and with this product in particular, I think if it wasn't $58, I might put it in the it's average category because I have had days where I've worn this and my base has looked nice, but again, I find the very dewy nature of this product to be a little bit challenging because A, it doesn't result in phenomenal wear time, but B, it makes pairing it with other products a little bit tricky because they don't all want to interact well over such a almost like wet base. Like that sounds kind of gross, but it's so dewy, especially when you're trying to layer like a powder over top of it. It doesn't always want to sit well, but sometimes I can make it work and sometimes it does look beautiful. So if it wasn't $58, I would probably place it in the it's average category, but I think considering how expensive it is and a lot of the drawbacks that it already has, I'm gonna have to put it in the category of I don't get it. If you're wanting a foundation that has a lot of life to it and looks natural and is glowy and delivers on a lot of the claims of this, but in my opinion, wears better, looks better, is less expensive, I would recommend the Soft Lit from Fenty. In my eyes, that foundation is like what this one is trying to be, but like almost $20 less. We've seen a lot of liquid bronzer launches in 2024, and one of the most popular ones has been this one from Makeup by Mario. It is the Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. This product is advertised as being kind of a 2-in-1 product that you can use as a liquid bronzer, but it also is something that can be used like a bronzing drop type of product. You know, those have been so big this year. This is a very sheer bronzer, which in theory should make it very easy to work with. And I do find it easy to work with, but I have to build it up so significantly to really see any impact on the skin. But what's maybe more alarming than that is I have not had this very long. I bought it like right when it launched a few months ago. And at this point, a few months later, it smells bad. Like it smells like it has gone bad, which is a little bit alarming to me. For me, this product was such a disappointment. Instead, I would buy their cream bronzer stick. That is phenomenal. And it's a few dollars less than this. It's so much better. It's easier to work with. It wears better. I get a little more impact out of it. I would recommend that over this one all day long. So I'm going to put this one in. They lied to us. This was one of my least favorite launches of the year. But another liquid bronzer was this one from Saie. I like this one a lot more than the one from Makeup by Mario. This is in the same packaging as their liquid blushes. It's a pretty similar formula as well. This is definitely higher pigment level than the one from Makeup by Mario, but not to the point that it's difficult to work with. I find that it still blends out really effortlessly. It has a really natural finish to it, but it also wears really well in my opinion. So this one I'm gonna put in, I'm impressed. It's a pretty good liquid bronzer if you're on the market for one. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Another very common answer that you left me when I asked for the internet's favorite makeup of the moment was the Makeup by Mario powders. And I think what a lot of people like about this powder is it's not super powdery, which for me is a drawback because I love a heavy duty powdery powder. But I do understand why a lot of people like this because it looks a lot more lightweight on the skin than some other more heavy duty powders can. It's almost a little bit glowy. The second ingredient in this is mica, which lends itself to being a little bit more radiant. That being said, I think that is a little bit of a drawback of this product as well. I don't think it's as smooth and perfecting as some of these more heavy duty powders like the Huda Beauty Easy Bake that I talk about all the time. I find if I'm not careful with this product, it can cling to my foundation in a bit of a weird way. So this is another one where once I finished testing it out and I shared my review on it, it kind of went into the back of my drawer and I haven't found myself reaching for it really at all. So I'm going to put this one in the category of I don't get it. I think there are a lot better powders at Sephora, similar price tag, better performance. All right, these Hourglass blushes. Let me start off by saying these were blushes that I didn't think would live up to the hype. I mean, even the name of these is pretty dramatic. They call them the Unreal Blushes. They're highly pigmented and have a very natural dewy finish to them. Truly the only drawback to this product, in my opinion, is the packaging because I find it kind of tricky to get my finger in here to pump it out. I wish Hourglass would repackage these into a squeeze tube format, but outside of that, I truly have nothing negative to say about these. These have been some of my favorite blushes since they launched. I like wearing them on their own. I like mixing them with liquid highlights. I think they always look so radiant and beautiful on the cheeks. So this is one of the few products in this video today that I'm going to put in the worth the hype category, but I truly think these are worth the hype. They've been one of my favorite launches of 2024, which is wild to think about that we're getting to the end of the year. I've already been starting to think about what my best of beauty for 2024 looks like, what products are going to be on that list. So let me know what has been your favorite of the year so far. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye.